Yo, what's going on, guys? Today is my Stamina Warden AoE build. So with the stats, we're going to go with 64 stamina here. We're going to have 1100 mana recovery, 1200 stamina recovery, 4200 weapon damage. While we're buffed up, we're going to have 1400 stamina recovery and 5600 weapon damage with a pot up. That goes up to 1700 stamina recovery, 1600 magicka, and 1100 health recovery. We have 30k max health with 25k max stamina, 27% crit, and 8.5k pen with 22k resistances. For our Mundus, we're running the Warrior, and we're running Smoke Bear Haunch here for the triple recovery, since we are going to be pulling from all our pools relatively equally, and this is a very good food for that. I also recommend running the Warrior. If not, you can run the Lady if you want to be a bit more tanky. Either one works, just comes up, it's just up to you. For our gear here, we're going to be running Rally Cry on our back bar. And then we'll run one Torix for our sustain, and then Dagon for our AoE, and then Magma and Serene Arms here for our monster set. So we're running a Mythic and a monster set heavy piece here that this won't be doing. Rally Cry here gives us crit, magicka, and crit while Battle Spirit is active. When you critically heal yourself, you gain 300 weapon and spell damage and 1600 critical resistance for 20 seconds. This is massive, very tanky, and gives you extra damage. Plus you can use this as a group synergy as well. And then our Dagon set here, weapon and spell, max stamina, weapon and spell, and then 500 damage to our AoE spells, which is massive since most of our damage is coming from AoE from our sub and our Whirling Blades and our Dawnbreaker of smiting. And then for our monster set here, whenever you heal yourself or a group member, you gain 3000 armor and 200 weapon and spell damage for 10 seconds, and then it can also bounce up to your teammates, giving them this buff as well, and this can occur once every 15 seconds. So Rally Cry Sash here has basically a 100% uptime, while this has a bit of a downtime, but they're going to be up so much that you won't really notice the downtime, and you can also use this in tangent with the team, which is very useful. We're going to be running 4 well fitted, light sash, heavy chest, that's going to be reinforced, heavy helmet, which is going to be reinforced, and then an impinged shoulders. Everything everything is also prismatic, and we're going to be running maces sharpened here. That gives us the most overall damage. 1 shock, 1 weapon damage glyph, powered on the back bar for the extra healing, and a weapon damage enchant, and then just a max down glyph here with impinged shield. So we're just a bit tankier on our back bar. Onto our skills here, we're running Bull Netch, Subterranean Assault, Whirling Blades, and Dawnbreaker Smiting. Our flex spot will be Camouflage Hunter for this build. You can switch this out as you wish. I just like the extra crit. For our back bar here, we're running Ice Fortress, Leeching Vines, Vigor, and Pierce Armor, along with Budding Seeds and Enchanted Forest. This gives us minor protection, and this gives us so much healing with Leeching Vines, Resolving Vigor, and Budding Seeds. This is so much healing overall, since we also get Major Mending on this class, which allow these heals to really pump. And then our Fracture comes from Pierce Armor. This gives us an extra like 9000 penetration, which is a lot of extra damage on our front bar here, allowing our spells to do way more damage than normal. For our race, I chose Orc. I just love playing the Orc. Another really good class for this would actually be Imperial. Imperial probably be the best class for this build, since reduced cost of sprint isn't as important on the Orc, since you can still regenerate stamina with Bull Netch while running. So Imperial's probably the best class for this, and it gives us way more sustain and it gives us more max stats. But I just prefer Orc for that extra movement speed right here. Onto our CP now. For our CP, we're going to be running Biting Aura, Mastered Arms, Duelist Rebuff, and Swift Renewal. This increases our dots. This reduces our damage taken from a single target. Deal extra damage with direct damage. And Biting Aura increases our AoE damage. I wouldn't really switch any of these out. You don't really need anything else in here. These are probably the 4 best to run for the Warden. These are all very good. I recommend getting all your passives here and getting all your max stats as you see fit. Onto our red tree, we're going to be running this one, and this one. So we get max health, armor, and increased recovery. All very, very strong. And then running Survival Instinct, the best red CP in my opinion. Just gives us so much sustain, and you just can't not use his passive. Super broken. You should also get Mythic Tenacity, even though it contradicts with Survival Instinct. Since most of the time you're going to have a status effect on you either way, I just recommend getting this instead. For your green tree, the only one to keep note of is Liquid Efficiency here, as it reduces the cost of potion. Another important note is that Budding Seeds is actually also a dot. While the field grows, you heal allies are healed for 1500 health every second. So you actually have triple hots on this setup. And this can also factor in as a burst heal, which you can easily proc. A tip is, if you do need more if you do need stamina recovery from Torx here, I recommend just spamming Ice Frost. This will drain your magic really fast and force the 500 extra recovery you get from the ring. If you do need extra stamina, just spam Ice Fortress to drain your magicka really quickly, and it will proc the extra stamina. So the way you want to play this build is you want to open the way, putting on Leeching Vines, putting down your Budding Seeds so you have a circle to fight in. Use Piercing Armor to reduce the armor, and proc Sub Assault, go in for the medium wound, and then just spin the wind into a Dawnbreaker, Sub Assault, sub the hit. This build offers an insane amount of healing, so you won't really have to worry about that. If you do want to be tankier, I recommend either running the Lady or running Protective on your jewelry. Either of those would work and make you plenty tanky to withstand most pressure. Another way to survive on this build is just to use your roll to kite around trees and cover, since we have 4 well fitted, and we also have Bull Nest here, which is quite a bit of recovery. So as long as you have vines on and you just roll around when you're Budding Seeds with Vigor on, you're very hard to kill. Once you roll 3 times, you look to block until you can reset your roll dodge. Once you reset your roll dodge, you go back to rolling around and kiting around as such. If you guys have any questions regarding the build, feel free to ask down below, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.